Hi guys and girls, I'm Obsidian Ant and this is Elite Dangerous. So, Premium Beta 2 has just arrived and I'm going to take a bit of a look around it and see what's new. But the first stop is to rebuy my Cobra.
Docking successful. Engines disengaged.
Frontier were nice enough to refund everyone their credits from Beta 1, and they were also nice enough to credit us the value of our ships. So I have a nice little pot of cash here, and let's buy the Cobra, and let's hope for no glitches. It was a little bit slow last time, so hopefully this time it's going to go through. Oh, it's wonderful, isn't it? As you're on the edge of your seat this every time. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Yes, there we go. One Cobra. Right, got a little bit of money left. I'll probably use that later to do some trading with. Let's have a look what we've got on the ship. Yeah, just the standard fittings. Although, part of me seems to remember starting with a Class 4 gun previously. But, okay, maybe not, I don't know. Anyway, good to go. So, here we are a little later in one of the new systems for Beta 2. The system's called Alwyn. I think that's how it's pronounced anyway. If not, I'm sure someone will correct me on that. But this is a system where we can find the new Orbis station, and it's a wonderful sight to behold, isn't it? Look at that. So what I'm going to do is take a couple of close passes of the station and swing by through some of the structures and have a good close look at it. I actually want to swing round to the front of it first though and come from it head on. This station's actually far bigger than the previous station, the Coriolis station that was in the game. I believe the Coriolis station was only roughly the same size as the centrepiece that we can see here on the Orbis. The front ring there, I believe the diameter of that is around 12 kilometres, so it's quite a huge station. So let's go ahead and make a close pass of it and have a good look at all the details. Now, one thing Frontier excel at is putting all the fine details in, and hearing David Braben speak about this station, it's clear that a huge amount of thought has gone into it. If you ever get a chance to see the E3 video with David speaking, it really does give some incredible details about this station. It's well worth listening to. You really can see the full length of this station from here. I reckon that must be 16 to 20 kilometres perhaps. Easy. And there we can see my shadow just coming down the outside of the station there. Gives a wonderful sense of scale, doesn't it, there? And what a beautiful backdrop. And what I'm going to do here is pass down close to this outer ring. I want to actually see what it contains. And it does actually look to have quite some detail in there, doesn't it? Green, I assume that's grass or some sort of fields. So they've certainly got some nice atmosphere in there. Yeah, we can see houses, perhaps little villages. Wonderful. You know, eventually there's planning on allowing us to walk around stations and walk around our ships. Just imagine coming out and having a walk inside that ring there, and then looking up out and seeing the ships pass by. The detail of those shadows there is actually incredible as well, isn't it? Really does almost look like aerial photography. Yeah, that's great. Now let's just make sure I don't hit anything, and we'll pass up and over and make our way to the next ring. Now apparently, as it goes, the large ring we've just looked at has a gravity of approximately 1g, and this second ring up here has gravity of approximately half g, and you can tell that is actually quite a lot smaller, this ring, than the previous one, so that naturally makes sense. Now let's have a look what this ring contains. I can't quite make out what that is. So this ring's either dull and grey, maybe industrial perhaps, or, which actually looks more like that, it hasn't actually got any textures applied to it yet. But there does seem to be some sort of structures or buildings in there. Interesting. It just goes to show how vastly different living environments there could be on just one station. Okay, I think that's enough of that. We'll have a move on and have a look at another part of the station. The other ring looks pretty nice from over there. Those are some sort of cargo containers, I believe. Oh, we're gonna... oh, that sounded terrible. And luckily, full shields and full hull. So, no harm done. Yeah, as I was saying, these are some sort of cargo or warehouse containers. And they actually are very large, so I'm sure they can hold a hell of a lot of products. I'm not sure what the part at the end of the station here is. I'm wondering if it's perhaps some sort of energy source, some sort of power plant maybe. I guess it could be anything, but it looks very interesting. Let's get a closer look. We've got these panels here, and I'm wondering if there's some sort of hatches or large rods that could fit in there. There might even be some sort of fuel cells. Again, it really does give such an incredible sense of scale to this station, to see it being built from so many different components, with the different rings and the warehouse containers and then this large structure at the back. I'm just going to flick flight assist off here and drift backwards, and we should slowly see the entirety of the station drift into view. It really is a wonderful piece of work. So hats off to Frontier. They've done an amazing job of this. Very impressive. So a few of the other things new in Beta 2. There's a new ship, a hauler, which hopefully we can get a look at soon. And there's a couple of other new systems. There's Alwyn, the one we're in now. And there's another system, LHS, and there's also the system Styx. And I believe Styx is actually an uninhabited system, it's empty. I've seen Michael Brooks, the executive producer of Elite, mention that there is some sort of surprise there hidden away for us to discover. So I think we'll go and have a look there and see what we can see. Now I really can't help but imagine what it will be like to walk around that station when we finally get the chance to do so. Right, so here we are in Styx. There's no station here, it's an uninhabited system. There is a couple of planets here, and there is also an unidentified signal source. So we'll make our way around and have a look at some of that. I'm not sure what we're going to find in this system. I think there's a chance that there could actually be anything going on there. So we may get interdicted a number of times, or we may even get caught by other players. Let's have a look. Here we are. Sticks. One thing that's made a return from early in Alpha is that as soon as you jump out of hyperspace you find yourself at full speed in Supercruise. The way that was in Beta 1 was that you'd be at minimum speed, so you really have to make sure you pull away from the sun very quickly, otherwise you'll find yourself dropping out of warp. So let's go and have a look at this unidentified signal source. I've gone too fast. That's another change, the Supercruise speeds. Now the way it initially feels is that they've increased acceleration and increased the speed, but what they've actually done is they've reduced the acceleration speeds and also reduced the size of the gravity wells, so that you can actually achieve a greater velocity than was previously possible, and that means you can actually slip past your target far more easily, and that's actually proving something fairly difficult to get used to. And that's a very interesting looking planet, isn't it? Not seen anything quite like that yet, although I didn't visit all the planets in Beta 1, so I'm not sure if there is a planet quite like that one out there, but either way it's very nice. The drop-off speeds have actually, and distances have actually changed as well, so we can now drop out of Supercruise at 1000 kilometers a second and at a distance of 1000 kilometers. That's up from 200 for both previously. I've no idea what we're going to find here. I do think that unidentified signal sources can actually have random content. So, yep, we've had some ships jump in. Maybe there'll be some sort of conflict here. There's the beacon. And there's an anaconda. Yep, someone's shooting each other. So perhaps we can join a faction or something. No factions to join. I didn't actually arm my ship before I left, so I've only got the default pea shooter. So it's probably not a good idea to join in this conflict here. But it's looking rather intense. And over the back there's a Falcon. And the Falcon doesn't seem to be doing a whole lot, does he? Well, as I'm not able to join in the conflict, I'm going to hang around just for a little while and see how it plays out. I do like those ships. The Falcon. Quite imposing looking things, aren't they? I'd be interested to know why he's not helping his buddies out. Now, another thing I've noticed in Beta 2, the orange sun that just passed by actually now seems to cast an orange hue to the light. You can see that reflecting on the anaconda here. It's got a very slight orange tint to it. And it actually seems that the system you're in now actually has a slightly different hue, which is determined according to the type of sun. There may actually be some new details on the shadows here in the cockpit as well. It looks like these guys are just going to endlessly chase each other around in circles. Since I've been here, I don't think anyone's actually been destroyed. But an empty system really is an interesting concept, isn't it? This could be a hotbed for all sorts of activity. especially hidden pirate bases and maybe even black markets of some type eventually. So let's head out of here and go look at something else. This is the third and final new system in Beta 2. As far as I know, it's a relatively small system, maybe with just one planet, called Falcon. A tip of the hat to Star Trek, perhaps. If you know what you're looking for, there's actually quite a few little Easter eggs from various sci-fi shows to be found in Elite. Okay, so as I mentioned just there, we have just one planet in this system and one station orbiting it. The station obviously contains trading goods. I believe this is an extraction station, so what they're doing is extracting minerals and ore from the rings of Falcon here. And that's actually pretty interesting, isn't it? If we look at the rings there, they're rather different colour to what we've seen before. And Falcon itself looks very nice with those volcanic activity going on there. What I'm curious to see is if the asteroids that make up this ring are actually a different colour to what we've seen previously. I think partially what we're seeing here is how the colour of the sun is affecting the hue of things. Now I want to try and stop before I actually hit these things. About now. Oh, too late. Now they look wonderful, don't they? The density of these rings and the sheer number of asteroids I always find stunning. Really, really wonderful to experience, especially from inside the Oculus Rift. The sense of scale in that is tremendous. So, yep, these asteroids actually have a different hue to them to what we've seen previously. So we're actually starting to get some more variation in the game. I'm not sure if it's just my memories playing trick on me here, but this asteroid belt, or this ring, seems to be slightly more dense than what I've previously seen. But then again, this is the first time I've flown through one of these rings in a Cobra, so maybe that's had some sort of an effect as well. Well, that's the 3 new systems from Beta 2. We've had Darwin, LHS and Styx. I think Styx is going to be particularly interesting, and that one's certainly going to be worth a return visit, if only for the exploration alone. And hopefully we can discover that hidden surprise there. Other than the exploration, my plans for Beta 2 is just to earn enough credits to get the Falcon, and I'd like to try some combat in that. And hopefully I can show that to you guys soon. As always, thanks for watching. This is Obsidian Ant, signing off.